you're a technical writer who is very good with like fixing grammar or just editing something that engineers wrote, you will be obsolete 100%. Start looking for a job. But if you know how to structure information, if you're not a technical writer, if you're an information architect, if you understand the principles of information architecture, and this is why I call our online technical writing program information architecture, because this is tomorrow of technical writing. If you know how to do it, no AI can replace you. You will be so valuable for the company. You will be able to structure information for them and to present the information that they need in a way that no one in the company can.
Welcome to the Knowledge Base Ninjas podcast, where Gauri Ramkumar of Document 360 finds the best SaaS self-service knowledge bases in the world and then interviews their creators. Let's get started with today's episode.
Good day, everyone. Welcome to Knowledge Base Ninjas podcast. Our guest today is Rina Groobman Cassouto, CEO of ContentMaster. Hi, Rina. Welcome to the Knowledge Base. How are you doing?
Thank God, I'm doing very well.
Great. So thank you so much for joining this episode today. And before we start with anything, Rina, please feel free to introduce about yourself and a little bit about your company. And it's great to have you as CEO of the company.
Great. So after 20 years of establishing and running technical writing departments as an employee in leading companies in Israeli high tech, I decided to start my own company, ContentMaster, because I felt that this is the right name for the company, ContentMaster.
Yeah.
To master the content. This is what I feel that in technical communications, this is what we do.
Great. So can you just brief again how many years of experience you have? You said you have in this area?
Yeah, I have about 30 years of experience.
Wow,
Almost
that's amazing.
Right. Yeah, I started, usually people start this career in 30s or 40s, which is totally fine. I highly recommend this profession, even if it's like your second profession. But I finished the BA in English Literature and Linguistics, and I wanted to belong to this elite club called High Tech. And I didn't know how to enter this club. So I found a back door where I could use my writing skills and not to give up on my love of writing. And on the other hand, I was fascinated with technology and I wanted to join this big party.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
It was all this startup that popped up in Israel. So I took a course in technical writing and joined the club, became a technical writer. And
amazing.
Since then, I'd never been unemployed again because it's a really very good niche profession. Working in companies, gaining a lot of experience and managing and mentoring other writers. I started my own technical writing agency, also a technical writing school.
Oh, wow, that's nice.
Yeah, great. So I have an international online technical writing training program.
Wow, nice. So I'm sure you're the best person to ask this question then. How has the field changed over these many years?
Tremendously. It's been so exciting. I can tell you about my journey and what I think will happen next.
Sure, of course.
Be prepared. At the beginning, it was more of like a kind of an engineering field. Like you had to be an engineer. It was very, very heavy, rusty. And as my career proceeded, I felt like things are lighting up and more people like me who are not an engineer with 3 degrees could actually enter this profession and really succeed in it. Because first of all, if you're fascinated with technology and you like learning about it and you are a good learner, you can definitely handle it and learn it and become a top professional. It's all up to you. This profession really gives you such a wonderful opportunity to grow. It's really up to you. If you are up to the challenge, it all will happen to you. I really didn't have technical background, but as I was working in companies, they sent me to various courses and I read the things. And as I always say, the most important quality of a technical writer is to be a researcher. You need to know how to research.
Yeah.
Then you're a good technical writer. So I wasn't an engineer or something, but I became an expert in many very technical fields like cybersecurity, telecommunications. I wrote from scratch huge books about this subject and really like was sitting in the lab and configuring the system myself. You know, you don't need to be afraid. If you want to do it, go for it and it will happen to you.
Yeah.
I think that like 90% of your success is good communications and positive attitude.
Wow, amazing, amazing, Rina. Now, I'm sure you must have done this a lot in your years of experience. But what do you think are some of the main factors any company should have in mind when setting up a technical writing department?
Oh, this is a very good question. One of the problems of companies when they're hiring technical writers is that they have no idea what they're doing. Because people who hiring technical writers are usually hiring authorities or people, you know, like in development, product managers, dev, VP of R&D. Now, they are very highly educated technical people, but they have no idea about technical writing. Even if they think they do, they usually don't. And when they hiring a programmer or a QA person, they can check them easily. When they're hiring a technical writer, they're buying a cat in a bag. They have no idea what's going on. They don't know how to check this person. So what they do, they start asking them, okay, are you an expert in cybersecurity? Because we are a cybersecurity company. If you're not an expert in cybersecurity, you want, and this is wrong because technical writer, first of all, you need to be an expert in writing. You need to know how to write. You need to master very basic principles of writing.
Yeah,
And if you understand this, if you have this writing model in your head, then you will be able to apply to any field
yeah,
and,
true.
learn it fast enough.
Nice. Now, with AI and automation playing a bigger role in content creation, how do you see the role of technical writer evolving in the next 5 to 10 years? Because you did promise us to talk about what's going to happen in the
Right?
future. Yeah.
Very good that we got to this point. So I believe that all these threatenings about technical writers will be obsolete because we're 2025. I think it depends on the technical writer. If you're a technical writer who is very good with like fixing grammar or just editing something that engineers wrote, you will be obsolete 100%. Start looking for a job. But if you know how to structure information, if you're not a technical writer, if you're an information architect, if you understand the principles of information architecture, and this is why I call our online technical writing program information architecture, because this is tomorrow of technical writing. If you know how to do it, no AI can replace you. You will be so valuable for the company. You will be able to structure information for them and to present the information that they need in a way that no one in a company can. You come to a company and usually, like when they don't have well-organized documentation, they have different documents here and there, you know. One
Yeah.
engineer wrote something, another manager wrote something, there is a presentation, there are marketing materials, and the documentation is like all big mess.
Yeah.
So it's like it's like big mountain of garbage, and nobody knows how to even start doing anything about it. If
Mhm.
you're a technical writer who is just taking orders from your managers and has no idea how to structure it, bad news. Go and upgrade yourself today, yesterday. But if you get to this big mountain of garbage of information, and you have a methodology in your head, and you know how to organize it in a systematic manner, you will be the winner.
Thank you.
You will do something for this company that they could never imagine, and they will value your opinion like one of the biggest managers in the company. That's what happened to me a few times in my career.
Nice. Great. Uh-huh.
Yes, because I made a real difference. I could make a difference.
Yeah. And also drive more business opportunities.
Of course.
Great. Now moving to the rapid fire round, Rina. What I'm sure you might be reading a lot of resources. Anything that you could suggest, particularly documentation related resources?
Documentation related resources. So, first of all, I will take you maybe in a different direction a little bit. I think that today it's very important for technical writers to master AI.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because AI today, for me, and I'm not just running the company, I'm also a hands-on writing stuff. So I like to be hands-on. I don't like to have a technical writing school and be disconnected from hands-on technical writing, because it's so dynamic and changing rapidly that I have to be on top. For me today, in my day-to-day work as a technical writer, AI is like another person in my team. I have a list of tasks that AI does for me that like only yesterday I had to do or one of my employees had to do. And every time I discover another thing that AI could do, I immediately call a meeting with my employees and we sit together in our agency and I teach them.
Okay.
And this is number one resource that technical writers should use. But of course, they need to learn how to do it. They need to master this skill. It's not just, asking questions. It's much, much more than that. So this is number one. And of course, technical writing forums are good. Write the docs, of course. It's a very good Slack group where you can ask various questions about various subjects and always get answers, and sometimes jump on call with people somewhere in the other side of the world. Some technical writer suddenly know something that you didn't know. So this is great. This is great. You know, the world is small today. The communication is very good, and we can be on top of information. This is the most important.
Nice. Okay. Now, one word that comes to your mind when you hear documentation.
Clarity, I think. Maybe this is the best, because mostly this is the problem, that things are unclear.
Right. So a good documentation gives clarity on why it is built, who it is built for, and the purpose.
Clarity on two main things. Why do I need it? And who should read this information?
Okay. Great. Now, my last question to you is, what is that one piece of advice you would give to your 20-year-old self?
Positive attitude.
Okay.
Positive attitude, because I entered this journey without knowing what's going to happen. You know, people used to work in high tech for 12 hours in the office. It was so hard. And as a young woman who wanted to develop a family and children, I was like thinking, whoa, how will I do that? You know, this is the question that many people ask. How will I find this balance between business and family? And, you know, things changed. Think that everything, changes. And I just continue running, you will get there.
Nice. So it's been an absolute pleasure connecting with you, Rina, and a lot of the things has been spoken out, which we normally don't hear from not or should I say it not heard many times, but we could sense your experience really coming out in all the answers that you shared with us. I'm sure 25 or plus years of experience I cannot shrink in 20 minutes. But is there anything else you would love to share to our audiences today?
I think that technical writing is an amazing profession that has an amazing future. This is what I think. Because what I see, the tendency on market is that technology is developing, and it's not shrinking, it's growing. And if the market is growing, then the need to high quality technical writers will be growing. So
True.
I'm very positive about this profession.
Nice. So thank you once again for all the successes you're about to cherish, and all the very best for the Content Master initiation. And let's stay in
Amen.
touch. And thank you so much. Have a lovely day.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good day too.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of the Knowledge Base Ninjas podcast. Please head to iTunes, rate, and provide honest feedback on the podcast. See you next week.